Welcome to Hero Club Members Only,
the show where the founders of Hero Club talk to the guests and players from the show about their lives, careers, and really whatever the hell else we want. I'm Nick Williams.
And I'm George Primavera. Let's do this! Welcome to Hero Club Members Only. Glad to have you. This is where we talk about all the things that we don't get to say on the show, 'cause that's not our thing. Welcome to Hero Club Members Only.
Hey, George. How's it going, my man?
Hello. Good afternoon.
In true me fashion, I have a bone to pick with my surroundings.
Oh, yeah?
And a little bit, just a little bit with you. I'm not into spooky ooky things. And you, the first time we actually got to see each other in person, like last week, you showed me a clip from the new Resident Evil game, where that was a horrific slug monster that looks and sounds like a baby, like a newborn baby.
Everybody knows the baby.
Who cries and screams like a baby, but in like a slightly distorted, horrific voice. And if it gets to you, will swallow you whole with its disgusting long mouth.
It's disgusting, ribbed like a shark on the inside mouth.
And since you have shown me that, I don't know if it's just the universe fucking with me, my next door neighbor has had a baby, and it is constantly making almost identical noises throughout the day and night.
Guess what, Nick? Now you just have to wait for the day that it's like a way lower pitch than it should be, and you'll know that thing's coming for you. Yeah, it's like... and then like it goes back into high-pitched baby. Yeah. Yeah. And then when it eats you, it's like happy giggling. And it's really
it's
gross.
like having the best time ever. Anyway, on to better things, George.
I'm a couple of pints of blood short this morning after I had a physical for the first time in a year. So, Nick.
What was that like?
I told the lady that, hey, I'm not a fainter, but I don't like this one bit. And she rolled her eyes and said, turn sideways, like very dismissively, and I did so.
Well, fun fact about me, I always faint. Moving on, we have a really great person on the show today. Friend of the show, multiple guest, Gabe Greenspan is on the show today. Hello, Gabe.
What an introduction. What an intro. Thrilled to be here. This is why I play Mario Kart and don't give blood.
Hey!
Fans of the show will know Gabe as one of the two Soup brothers, infamously, and also, many other voices. You played that gross toothless mare on the werewolf season.
Sure did.
You're also in the King of Tides live stream that happens every week on Tuesdays.
Hell
playing
yeah.
a chameleon whose eyes I took out when I guested on the show.
Nick comes in so hot as a guest in that.
I never get to play a character who isn't just like towing the line during Hero Club. So when I got to be a like chaos NPC, I was like, I'm gonna take a character's eyeballs.
It was incredible. It was one of the coolest monologues you've ever given to me. I was like rapt with attention.
I'm so glad. I was just like, either people are going to be really into this or just be so grossed out that they're just like hard against. And I think it was like a 50-50 split. Totally. I think that was kind of where it went.
Yeah, it was divisive.
Yeah, for sure. For sure, polarizing performance. Oh my God. Well, how's it going, Gabe? First of all,
not bad. It's like we're in such this weird, we're almost out of it kind of a thing. Like, I don't know if you guys are feeling that as well, but like I've started like going to restaurants safely and like doing that. And someone was like, yeah, June 15th, it's like all going to open back up. And I had like a very small panic attack.
Oh, yeah.
It's like, I don't know
we're all
if I'm
trying to
ready for that.
I feel the same
back
way.
In.
I think the only way to do it is like full acid. You know what I mean? Like, I think the only way
in with both feet
is like meet up with like 40 people in like a crowded bar with no masks. Like, I think the only way is like you need to put yourself in a situation where it's like like I think I listened to some podcasts where they were talking about like we all need to just go eat like Ethiopian food communally with our
Just
hands.
hands into the middle,
And that way, when we survive that, then we'll be fine in like a normal dinner party. Like that's like the only way to do it.
We go too far, and then just like anything shy of that will be fine.
Right. I think that's the only way.
I
Because
feel like the
Gotta
world
be.
is dragging me kicking and screaming.
oh yeah,
Yeah.
I've become a hard inside man. That is like who I'm a Clive
been an
Owen inside man.
I've been an inside boy my whole life. Welcome to the party, pal. Outside's where the grass is. No thanks.
No, thank you.
Tickles my feet. Don't like it.
Feels weird on my toes, stains up my jeans. Keep me
Yes.
inside, baby.
Inside, please. Where the spiders aren't supposed to be.
When George and I met up last time, he changed. He was wearing pajama pants with a giant hole in the crotch when I got there. And then he was like, hold up, we're going to lunch. Let me change. And put on a different pair of like Christmas pajama pants.
Yes.
Yeah, wear holiday Christmas pants all
That's
year round.
the right move.
I think
I
they
just
had
needed
like
not a hole.
They had like gnomes with presents on them, I think. Not
First
even
one
elves.
had gnomes with presents, and the second one's got like red reindeers and snowflakes, and is bright white. So
Hell yeah.
it's a little louder than the other one. Gabe,
so good.
enough about my Christmas pants. Let's get right into it.
Let's do it.
Gabe, you're one of those guys who knows every single person in Los Angeles.
Yeah.
Why do you know every single person in Los Angeles? And is the answer Scientology?
Yes and yes. I feel like I have that leg up of like I was born here. So like because I was born and raised in LA, that accounts for a part of it.
But Gabe,
A
I
part
was
of it,
also
Gabe. A
born and
part
raised
of
in
it,
LA.
Well, but then that's it. Right. That's the other thing is that the people that
20%
I
of it,
now
Gabe.
know is like none of the people that I grew up with. So I think it's like when I graduated from college, I took every improv class like simultaneously. I signed up for every single school and just did like at least the basic class. And I think through that web, it just like it facilitated so many new relationships.
Because everyone takes at least one
Everyone
improv
takes at
class.
least one improv class. Are you even an actor if you haven't taken a single improv class in Los Angeles?
Well, now it's like, are you even a business major if you didn't take a UCB 101 class?
Right,
Like, everyone fucking does it to get just like public speaking skills and shit.
You want to
like,
talk to a patient without having taken a UCB 101 improv class? Yeah, exactly.
You gotta think on your feet as a trained doctor.
What if they ask you how you are?
You want
Don't
to
freeze.
You think you can do closing statements on murder trials without taking a UCB 101 class?
Think again.
What about the game of your
Of your
confession?
trial.
Oh, God.
But yeah, so I took a lot of those classes, and then I also got into like one or two acting classes as well. And I just think yes, it's like a large community. Everyone is trying to be an actor, but it's also really not. Like the community gets real small real quick. And so just through that, I like met a lot of. I like cast a very wide net.
Yes.
And it's just caught me so many fishy friends.
You're one of those guys who's like so busy. I mean, I think like less so now, but like that when I met
for
you
the last year and a half.
last year,
No.
not at all.
Yeah.
But when I first met you, it was like every night you had a live show, and it wasn't just like improv shows. It was like musicals and like
Yeah.
Game of Thrones the musical, and then like improv troops, and then like full drama plays, and then like you're also like writing all the time and pitching,
Yeah.
and you're just like,
That's
when do you
very
find
real.
the time?
That is very real. I mean, listen, before I was like in a committed relationship, which is when we met. We met like when I was a single man in LA.
That's true. That's
Oh
true.
man, sky's the limit for shit I could fill my time with. I mean, like
right.
it was just
Please take my mind off of this.
off of just being in this city alone. But since I very gratefully met my wife, I've toned that down a little bit.
Yes.
But yeah, it's that same. I mean, you know, everyone has a project, and then you just say yes to a lot of things.
Well,
And
totally. Well,
yeah.
I mean, that's kind of how we met.
Yeah.
Like, you know, speaking of that, you and your writing partner and fellow soup brother, Ryan Bowers, have a brilliant
bless up.
sketch duo.
Bless
Bless
up.
up to Ryan Bowers.
Bless up, Ryan Bowers.
Christ rest his soul. Have a brilliant sketch duo, Idiot Chimney.
Raise him up, blaze him 420.
That my group, Sasquatch, has opened for multiple times, which is how we met.
And
at
vice
Nerd
versa,
Melt,
yeah.
And vice versa. How would you pitch the McIdiot McChimney show to us as if we haven't seen it 4 times?
Oh, man. McKinney McChimney Show, my favorite show that I've ever done. Oh, hold on. My dog is full pushing on my door.
Bring him in.
Bring him in. It
Give me
doesn't
one
matter.
thing. Give me a
Bring him in
second.
for a hello.
Bring him in. This
Gonna
is a
beat this dog.
loosey-goosey show.
We think on our
We
feet here,
don't
baby. We
care.
took those
We don't care
improv
about the
classes.
rules.
Those aforementioned Usi Bays. Yeah, I took fucking 4 of those. Jesus
Yeah, of course. Me too.
Oh, man,
yeah, we don't care.
just
This
stuck
is
in
this
there.
is the fun show where we get to be fun, loose guys who don't care about the
Loose.
rules.
Hell yeah.
No.
I'm so embarrassed. I'm so sorry. My dog, literally, my office door is like a glass door, and my larger dog, Knox, will just shove his full body against it whenever he wants to come inside. And it makes this very loud sound.
Yeah.
Adorable.
The McKinney McChimney Show was one of my favorite shows that we ever did. We'd realized that, like, to pitch a thing at UCB, they wanted, like, a show with a concept. Like, it was, like, just sketches in an array didn't work. So we were like, all right, what's a concept? So the concept we came up with was, what if McDonald's, the multi-billion-dollar company McDonald's, had hired our unknown sketch group to, like, be an ad for them, and we're paying us to do, like, advertising for McDonald's throughout our sketch show. So that's the basic concept, and as it goes through, it starts out with, like, a reference to McDonald's, and then the second sketch is like, there's some product placement in this one, and then the third one is like, it's a lot of McDonald's we're talking about. And by the end of it, Ryan has painted a red smile onto his face in a very, like, Joker meets Ronald McDonald kind of a way, and is silently eating $40 worth of McDonald's off of a table while I have a full mental breakdown and scream about, like, what happened to you. We used to be friends. Why are you doing this to yourself? And then it turns out it was his evil plan the whole time, and we have a sword fight and a fist
You have
fight.
an insane sword fight where you do a standing backflip.
Yeah.
Right?
Yes,
that
is true.
That is the thing. The biggest takeaway from the show is you do a goddamn standing backflip on stage during a sword fight.
We really wanted to raise the stakes of the show. And we were like, I don't know. Gabe did gymnastics when he was 17.
Oh my god,
Nuts.
it is so insane.
There's a little nug. Dang.
Yeah.
Cool.
Also the amount of food that Ryan eats on. We're gonna talk to him about
Oh,
it when
man,
he comes
dude.
on. But like,
It's the hardest I've
It
ever
is-
laughed for 40 seconds.
it is so long.
Sickened me.
It
to
sickened
watch.
me to my core, and I've never laughed harder at Ryan just eating, like, because he eats it in, like, the worst way too. Like,
Awful.
he opens, like, a full fillet of fish and just jams the whole thing in his mouth, like, on top of, like, McNuggets. Like, oh, it's so bad.
I remember, like, right after we'd done that show for the second time, I got a commercial audition for McDonald's. And as part of the commercial audition, we had to, like, within the 1 minute commercial, eat, like, a full thing of chicken McNuggets.
Oh.
And I did 2 takes, and I left going, oh man, I don't feel well, and immediately called Ryan and was like, I'm so sorry. We never need to do this show again. I've tasted the smallest bit of what you have to do.
I know a
we
little
did the
something
show
about
like
that.
5 more times. It was
George
horrific.
George infamously ate 40 chicken McNuggets in a night. I saved the receipt on my refrigerator. He hasn't
God.
lived with me for 3 years, and it's still there.
It's still there.
Yikes.
40, Gabe.
What a
40
choice.
McNuggets.
What a
Not at
choice
dinner
that you
time.
made.
Not at dinner. This is
You're
post-dinner.
neglecting to mention the reason I needed 40 was that there were 6 different dipping sauces.
Oh, sure.
You were
Sure.
like,
I had to
I
try 'em all."
gotta try them all.
Of course. We know this. Gotta try the dipping sauces.
A lot of them are very underwhelming.
It's
now
like
I know.
10 p.m. at night. Guys, kids, this is a PSA to not smoke marijuana.
Just calling me right out.
know
yeah,
it's-
well,
we know it's
yeah,
legal.
well, when you
Chill
get
out.
hungry, when you get hungry,
sometimes you just get a little hungry.
and McDonald's got a 40 chicken nuggets for $5 deal going.
No way.
Yeah,
like,
and it's usually
feed your
$20.
extended
So I was
family.
like, yeah, all right, here we go.
Oh,
The
my Lord.
Thanksgiving deal.
Moving on. Gabe,
Yeah. Yes.
I'm going to read some lyrics. When you recognize these lyrics and you think you know the song, please stop me and take a guess.
Oh,
Are you ready?
No. Uh-huh.
Out here, in the quiet of the night, beneath the stars and moon, we both know we've got something on our minds.
Stop. I got it. This is the Misty's song from the To Be a Master Pokemon CD.
So much
So
quicker
much
than I thought. No context clues. Just the line.
We didn't even get to... Actually, you know what? It doesn't get any more specific.
That is...
So...
Gabe, how do you know that?
That was like other than like show tunes, that was like the CD I listened to as a kid. The To Be a Master CD
Yeah.
was incredible.
Gabe,
There are some
can I tell you something?
bops on that. Yes, please.
Are you on your way to Viridian City?
I'm on the road to
On the road to
City.
Viridian City.
Me
What
and
the
friends
hell was
along
that?
the way. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah. Also very popular in my car.
George
was the
fully
To
knows
Be a
what this
Master
is.
CD.
I've never heard of this until today. We had to look this up because Ryan was also angry about this and sent us the whole
this
thing.
is a big CD. Shout out to Jeffrey Robb, who also big knows this CD.
Hell yeah, dude. It's so good. There's like
Jeffrey
the
and I
Team
used
Rocket song on that one too. There's just hit after hit. What kind of
Jeffrey
Pokemon are you?
After
He would floss to the Viridian City song, but do it real bad, so he wasn't flossing. But
Oh, Jeffrey.
it's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my whole life. I've got to find that video. There is a video.
Oh, incredible.
What's your favorite track on that CD?
Ooh, that's such a good
Because
question.
the whole Pokemon rap is
The whole Pokemon rap is on
the
there.
real gem. 'Cause
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
all 151.
I loved What Kind of Pokemon Are You? I loved the
What kind of Pokemon are you? I just
There's-
fucking remembered that melody out of my fucking
right, yeah,
the way,
pulling
out
up
of
some
my-
deep.
out of my
To
deep
be
soul.
a master, like the number two.
Yeah, the number two, the
letters
letter B, A.
and then master.
Yeah.
wow.
There was one, I think it was on this one. I had like 2 or 3 Pokemon albums, but I'm pretty sure it was this one. Brock had a song on this one where it was like Nurse Jenny or Officer Nurse Joy or Officer Jenny, and he had to
Yeah.
like pick between them, and it was
Yep.
like Jenny, oh Joy, oh joy, a one-woman man's what I want to be, but there are 2 perfect girls for me, and I remember this
Oh
song
my god.
distinctly.
Oh,
Yeah,
Nick
boy.
is sweating.
yeah,
over
yeah,
there.
yeah. Listen,
Nick, you want to?
I'm like dry heaving over here.
I haven't always been the cool Los Angelino that you see before you today.
You know what? Okay, Gabe, this actually transitions perfectly into my next question. Gabe, as a couple of out of shape softs, what is it like to pull a reverse Alec Baldwin and go from a doughy funny man to a hard-bodied handsome? What's your secret, my man?
Oh, that's very funny. Reverse Alec Baldwin. I'll real answer this question. Which was that I was always like a heavier as a kid. Never like, you know.
So was I.
Yeah, you know, just like I had some poundage to throw around. And in college, when I like finally had access to unlimited food all the time and made horrible decisions, I gained so much weight. So by like my senior year of college, I was in a just uncomfortable kind of unhealthy place.
Yeah.
And took one picture of myself in the mirror like December of my senior year of college and was like, not this anymore. And then did all that. I like got a calorie counting app. I started going to the gym. I did the whatevers. And then I find like, cause I never did team sports. I wasn't that kind of a guy. I did a little
You were a
little bit of
to be a
gymnastics.
master type guy.
I was a To Be a Master kind of guy. So, you know, I did fire twirling, circus, and gymnastics, which is all
Fire
real.
twirling.
It's all real about me.
You just keep dropping these ones.
Just a
all real
chunky,
fast.
like,
Yeah, I can do a standing backflip because I used to do gymnastics. Oh yeah,
just a
fire
chunky
twirl.
fire twirling kid.
That's
like,
correct.
Like the lightsaber boy from early YouTube.
100%. I was like the Numa Numa kid. Absolutely.
Oh wow.
But yeah, and then I started working out and I really enjoyed
for
it. And
you.
then I found boxing as a thing that I like was finally, because I don't like running and I couldn't find a cardio. And then I found boxing and I fell in love with it. And I like became a boxing instructor in LA for a while. And I just, that was my community.
Yeah, you're currently private coaching Marty Abby Schneider.
I am indeed. We've been hanging out and doing some one-on-one
I'll
stuff.
tell you, I have a bone to pick with you, Gabe, because the first
Tell me.
hour of our workday is him complaining about his workout with you.
Marty is. I love working out with Marty because he finishes everything I tell him to do, but he starts complaining on the second rep. It's my favorite. Like he'll see it through
He's
to
like,
the
fuck
end.
you, fuck
But
you.
immediately when we start, he is not here for it.
That I'll tell you, that's how he does everything. That's like Marty has the greatest work ethic I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah.
It is like one that I truly aspire to have, but he will complain every goddamn step of the way. No question. And I think part of it is that he knows it's his right because he has such a good ethic.
Right. He's the one who's like scheduling our workouts and showing up and doing the thing. And I'm like, yeah, you absolutely do. I'm here for it.
Yep.
But
let's do it.
man.
You earned this.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Please tell me how much you hate me.
I'm afraid of boxing because my tiny little baby wrists feel like they fuse into my forearm every time I punch the bag.
George, I think you're right. I think you should stay far away from that.
I think boxing is not going to be for me. I got little baby hands.
Oh, bud.
little chicken wrists.
They're elegant little piano hands.
Yeah. Hey, man. Listen. Protect those.
I
You know?
sure don't
those
play
wrists.
piano, but I guess that's you know what they
That's a
are.
thing.
They're Super Smash Brothers playing hands.
There we go.
That's
right.
what they're born for.
And boy, can you
Under
play.
carpal tunnel.
And boy, can I do that? Yeah, just yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Speaking of games, Gabe,
Yeah.
we talked to you before. I think on the last time you were on Members Only about how you went down this big rabbit hole with D&D
Yeah.
during quarantine,
Yeah.
much to your new wife Christina's chagrin.
Yes,
Congratulations,
indeed.
by the way.
Thank you so much.
What are the last 3 characters you've created on D&D Beyond that aren't in any campaigns right now?
Oh man. Well, so I just finally got my D&D Beyond Unlimited account. Because
I'm surprised you didn't have it already. I got
it
mine
took
like
me
yeah,
so
day
long.
one.
I totally hear you. I wanted to be like, I was like, man, I don't know, it's money, and I don't want to spend it if I'm not going to be doing it. But then, whatever.
I
What are we
bought
doing
the
here?
giant pack of all the books that was like multiple $100s. Just
Yep.
gotta have it all on there. God damn it.
Hell yeah.
Gotta have it all to be a master.
So the last nailed it. I literally just pulled up my D&D Beyond. The last 3 that I made, one of them is a Gith Yankai Way of the Open Hand Monk / Battlemaster Fighter. He is someone who has like perfectly studied combat and can do combat really well. Like, nothing beyond just that.
You take disarm as the first ability.
I did, yeah. Disarm is.
Yeah,
I did like
disarm's
parry
the
and
number
disarm, and they're just
You gotta
so
take
good.
disarm to be able to punch some guy's sword out of his hand.
Fucking
Yeah.
right.
So cool.
Yeah, dope as hell. The next one that I made is an Aarakocra Echo Knight Fighter / Trickery Cleric.
Jeez.
Which just
You
means
love it
that
in
he
multi-class.
can make all these duplicates, and because he is a duck-flavored Aarakocra, he just screams "ducks fly together" a lot, and that is his entire thing.
Great.
Ducks fly
good.
together.
Yep, he's probably never going in anything. And then the other most recent one that I made, as I go up this list, I'm like, oh, I actually used him in a thing. Oh yeah, it is a barbarian warlock half-orc, who is a celestial warlock, and I think a zealot barbarian.
Wow.
But the idea is that
Brilliant.
he was like in a clan that prayed to the stars and the solar system because he had real anger management problems. And so a straight up like celestial god was like, here, take this little dragon It'll be your like anger management pet. And then go out and be okay. So he's a Pact of the Chain Warlock Barbarian and tries to use his pseudo dragon to control his anger issues.
Nuts.
That's so great.
Jeez, those are all fantastic.
I don't know if you've noticed that I multi-class all the goddamn time.
I rarely
It is
multi-class.
absurd.
I love it.
I mean, I think when we did our... So since we talked to you last, you and I did a like almost 24-hour long D&D game.
Truly insane
which
D&D
was
experience.
Insane. I think it was like 16 hours.
I think it was 18 that we clocked in on ultimately. Yeah.
And we basically, the idea was it was 4 DMs playing. It was the 2 of us and Trixie Wizard.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like 4 one-offs back to back to back to back that we each rotated DMing. And it was like one continual story that was like an X-Men school, like a new X-Men school.
Right. So we'd all set what the world was going to be, and we knew the basic like rules and places and characters who would live in this world.
But each of ours was like wildly different, and we had to also on the fly incorporate the last one's story, which was like really insane because the lore. Especially that Aaron drops.
Yes, Nick went second right after Aaron, who, if you've ever played with her, is so lore heavy.
Like she started with like, it's a modern day. It's like it was like set in the 90s, I think.
Yeah.
She dropped like a shit ton of like Revolutionary War lore that I had to incorporate out of nowhere, and I was like, oh my god,
it was incredible. It was so fleshed out.
Revolutionary War lore. I am a big fan.
Very cool.
That's a cool pull.
It was it was like a non-New York, so we were doing like a lot of like Revolutionary War shit, like it was like the different boroughs and stuff, and
it was something that I both recommend to everyone to try once and also like never do it. It was just
I will never do that again.
Yeah.
But it was really fun. But during that campaign thing, and because we leveled up every time.
Right, every time the DM switched, it was a level up.
I think we started at level 5? 3. And you played a 3-level
3-class multi-class, yeah.
Yeah. So you literally had one level of 3 different classes at level 3.
Yeah, I had so many cantrips that I almost...
You were like a warlock.
Warlock, like, sorcerer, cleric was what I was. All of them centered around death.
You were like an emo death kid.
Yeah. Yeah, the idea was like he died and now is like both the... death is both his patron and his god. So it was like he does things for death while worshiping him to try and like get back to his girlfriend who died with him. So yeah, he was a death cleric, a undead warlock, and a shadow sorcerer at level 3.
And it was really fun because I got to bring in a foil character to your character who was a like peppy Peter Parker style ghost boy who just went against everything you believed in. And it was so fun to do that. It was
a delight. It was just a pure delight. It's also like the thing that I love about D&D parties, especially for one-shots, where it's like when someone has prepared a thing where it's like, all of my family is dead, I live only to serve the Blood King, and then someone else is like, my name is Poops Ma Pooper, and you're just like, well, this is what we're gonna do.
Wow!
This is this.
I literally, like, Gabe was so fucking serious. This character literally ended with, like, him sacrificing himself and dying with another character in, like, this beautiful, like, we will rest together. And my character had Eldritch Blast, and every time he did it would yell, Ghost Blast! Like that. And would do it 2 times an attack and yell Ghost Blast twice every time. So it's just Ghost Blast! Ghost Blast!
It was great. It was a great character.
Oh, it's great.
Very fun. Okay, moving on, Gabe.
Yes.
Hard shift. Back
shift.
to you being so busy and doing so many different things and wearing so many hats.
Yeah.
In 2018, you made your off-Broadway debut in Solve It Squad, a Tin Can Bros send-up of the Hardy Boys, Scooby-Doo, and Nancy Drew.
I did.
Was that a complete dream come true for you, or what?
Yeah, man. I mean, so it's been my like career in LA has just been a wild journey of like working with people I always wanted to work with when I was in like high school and college. Like I remember we did a show, I think like the show that we did after the Nerd Melt show with you guys, we did with a group called Harvard Sailing Team, which like Ryan and I had like seen in college and idolized, and we were like, this is insane. They're so good. And we were like, this is insane. This is the craziest thing. And then I did that Game of Thrones show.
And Beretta and like all those.
Yes,
guys.
exactly.
Like,
they're like that era of comedy. Then I did the Game of Thrones show with a lot of the guys who were in Baby Wants Candy, which is a musical improv group that I was like obsessed with. And then like the final piece of that puzzle was the sort of like Star Kid Tin Can Brothers universe, which is insane. Who I'd been like huge fans of when I was in high school, starting in high school.
Since like Harry Potter musical.
Since Harry Potter musical, yeah. Days. That was those guys. And then I like happened to cast that wide web thing where I happened to be in an improv class with one of them while I also happened to be in an acting class with another of them. And just like because those things were happening simultaneously, it was like, oh, okay, I guess Gabe is like everyone's friend now in this group.
Yes.
And so that's how you do it. You just worm your way in on every angle.
That's it.
But yeah, I'd done a music video, a thing that they had been doing where I was like a small part in it. And then based on hanging out with that, they offered me the Solid Squad show, and what a joy!
You guys were
joy.
off Broadway for a couple weeks, right?
Yeah, we did. I think we did 2 or 3 weeks off Broadway after doing a run in LA, and then over quarantine they did another. They like wrote a couple of episodes as like, if we did this as an animated series, like what would that look like? And so we got to do like 4 episodes over Zoom as like a staged reading of this animated series, which was just like really cool to get to do that as well, you know. So yeah, man, those guys are the best. I will say, not just both as like human beings and as creators, really wonderful people.
Nice.
Which is always really exciting.
Great, Gabe, it's time to shut the fuck up.
Cool.
It's time to exploit our guest's armor class and attack with advantage. These are some critical questions!
Welcome to the jungle, motherfucker. Gabe.
Welcome to hell. Let's do this.
I'll keep these answers real short. Here we go.
A little birdie told us that you one time were told you had to do a self-tape minutes after dropping acid. What was that experience like?
Focus up, Gabe.
Sorry, okay.
We ain't bullshitting.
I can't believe that's what he pulled. Okay, so
that's not the brutal question we mentioned to you earlier.
This was, it was mushrooms, not acid, but it was also the first time that I'd ever done any kind of hard drug at all. It was my senior year of college. I'd filmed a self-tape, sent it off to my manager at the time, and was like, cool, great, that's the day. And then went down and did mushrooms. And then got a text, like, as I could feel it hurting, that was like, hey, can you redo this? We need it in the next hour. And so I, like, grabbed one of my friends who was with me and was like, please, I'm so sorry. Can we please just read this one more time? And, like, as I felt it starting to kick in was as I was, like, saying the final lines, editing it together and sending it off. And I came back downstairs to this house that everyone had got, and everyone was gone. It was just, like, so gone. And I was terrified, and then dropped into a nice little bit. But boy,
self-tapes are
the
worst already.
Nightmare.
I can't imagine being in that scenario. Like, every time I do any self-tape at all, it's just like screaming into the empty void. I can't imagine.
I mean, I'm
doing
sure
that.
I looked like a fucking crazy person on that
just
tape.
Sweaty
just
and
awful, just
yelling.
so bad. Right? Like I took the note because I'm a goddamn professional, but I also probably did a worse take of the piece.
Gabe, you are like, we're not going to fix it.
Yeah.
You are certainly a professional, and you're also a college boy. In your own words, what does it mean to be a Yale man?
Oh, first of all, may I say, boola boola.
May I interject with go fuck
what
yourself,
that
Gabe?
means.
Bula Bula is just like the like huzzah phrase of Yale. It's like
Yuck.
Bula Bula.
Yuck.
It's real awful. Here's the thing.
Oh my God.
I know how shitty it is to have like pride in any school that you went to, and especially Yale. Like it's just like a shitty thing to be as a person. But ooh, I got the shirts and I wear them sometimes, and like, you know, I'll go back for events and reunions and what does it mean to be a Yale Man? Class. You know, that's
Bula Bula
class.
sounds like what a drowning rowing team yells.
Right? Do they? So is knot tying part of orientation?
Yeah. We do kerchief folding and knot tying as part of
Well,
the.
When do you get promoted to Weebelo? Sorry.
Well, I mean, I assume you need to have completed your knot course before you get onto the boat.
Onto the yacht. Yes, of course.
Onto the yacht.
Of course.
Excuse me. Boat is the lower class version of yacht.
Plebeian term. Yeah, man. Here's the thing. Yale's great for what it is, and is it so easy to shit on it. It's just there's so much about it that is like, oh, yikes. But
Yeah. That's the brutal question we were talking about that we had to reforge.
This is my all of this animosity is coming from a guy who dropped out of his safety school. So
Hell
we can just
Safety
move on.
school? We went to the same school.
guys, I'm gonna go.
Well,
and
I
I'm gonna let
didn't
you
get
guys
into my
resolve
other
this.
schools, George.
All right.
It's a
All
safety
right.
school because I got into it for sure and didn't get into the other ones. Gabe.
Nicholas.
Ryan told us that you've seen an embarrassingly few movies,
This is very true.
but you can infuriatingly name contestants from season 3 of So You Think You Can Dance.
Oh yeah.
Rather than focus on what makes you unique, we're going to harp on your shortcomings and list a bunch of movies you should have seen by now and be angry when you say you haven't.
Great.
I'll begin with The Godfather Part 2. Just yes or no?
No.
Fuck.
Fuck you.
Jaws.
No.
Oh, fuck you.
Go
That's
fuck yourself.
Go fuck yourself. Citizen Kane.
Yes. Citizen Kane. I've seen.
Ooh, congratulations.
Thank you.
It's worse than everybody says it is.
It's
Yep.
fine.
The Shining.
Yes, but only because I was tricked into seeing it in college.
Okay. No, hey, you know
Hey,
what?
it
We all
counts. But
find
I
our
have
way to
seen
them
it.
in different
I have
ways.
seen it.
Forrest Gump.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. You're doing better than we thought you
Better
would.
than
That's
we thought.
fair. You're. Yeah. I'm not gonna tell you how to fuck me because this was.
How long ago did you
I
see
think
these movies?
I know how to
years
fuck
ago.
you, and if that's the case, there's more movies coming.
Great, okay.
Shawshank Redemption.
No.
Okay, that's rough.
Fuck you.
That's rough.
Apocalypse Now.
No.
One flew over the cuckoo's nest.
No. Though I was in the play at one point in high school.
Casablanca?
Yes.
Okay.
I knew you would have seen that. Okay, and this is a softball, Gabe. Pokemon 3, the movie.
Pokemon 3's the one with Entei, right? Yes.
Sure is.
There we go. You answered our
Sure
question.
is. You
Fuck
sure
you,
answered
Gabe.
that question. Gabe, to the
You
best
fell
of your
right
knowledge,
into our trap, you dumb
shit.
Yale man.
Foiled again.
to the best of your knowledge, what's the plot of Pokemon 3, the movie?
Pokemon 3, the movie. Well, Ash and his band of friends, including Pikachu, and I think at that point it's still Brock and Misty, though it might be May?
I have no idea.
I
Fact
don't
check
even
me on
know
that
who
one.
May is.
She comes in at some point.
She's got different hair and hat.
Yeah, different hair and hat, but still girl.
Maybe the same
and
voice actress.
That's kind of
Yeah.
all they needed. Was here's the girl and here's the other one. They are all on a journey to probably an island, and something goes wrong that Pikachu needs to help with, and he's the only Pokemon capable of helping. And then they find a legendary Pokemon who should be much more powerful than any person or thing that they have with them at that time, who is somehow foiled by probably friendship, and then leaves the world unharmed, whereas it should have probably ruined it.
That's pretty correct. Yeah.
Right?
That's the broad strokes.
That's the
Let me
gist.
get to the nitty gritty for you, Gabe. Okay, so the unknown rise from the temple.
Oh, right, the unknown.
Unknown are a bunch of letter. Okay, we're not gonna actually do that, but it's a fucking nightmare. Yeah. What would actually fuck you over? Would it be like movies that came out recently?
No, the stuff that really I have not seen. There's like a period.
Have you seen Inception?
I've seen Inception.
Okay.
Yeah, I knew you would.
Yeah, I am like the wimpiest little wimpy wimp. So any kind of thing that would be like horror related at all, I probably have not seen. Like The Shining is a weird exception to that rule. Okay. And then also almost every war movie I have not seen.
You've not seen Saving Private Ryan?
I've not seen Saving Private Ryan.
You have not seen Full Metal Jacket?
I've not seen Full Metal Jacket.
Statement choice, or is
no,
that just like
I had like a real fear of blood when I was a kid and violence. Like it really was off. So around the time that everyone was like watching those movies,
I'll tell you what,
whoa.
Saving Private Ryan, still really awful.
Still haunts me
Really?
to this day.
Still truly awful.
It's not for the same reasons. I think there is a particular scene where just like a death happens in a really gnarly way that's not even like
drawn out.
It's like very drawn out and like
there's two drawn out
sad,
moments that
like
are really
brutally
bad.
sad, and it's like one of those like that's what fucks with you now. I don't think it's as much like the blood. Like back then, it was for sure the blood. It was just like so much blood, and
right? And now it's just like the sad,
the emotional ramifications of a whole generation that had to go through this.
Right. Well, and there's also like there's a handful of movies that are the ones that people are like, oh, it's so good, but it is devastating. Like Sophie's Choice and Schindler's List and all the ones where I'm like, why would I watch? Why would I now? I can't now find someone to be like, let's sit down and watch Sophie's Choice this like weekend. You know, like no one wants to subject themselves to that.
I'll tell you, that's how I feel about Apocalypse Now. It's like one of those movies where I watched it one time and I'm like, objectively, that's a good movie. Like I really, I can see how good it is and the acting is amazing.
Right.
I will never watch that again. And it is so like disturbing, like to my core that I don't know if I could like in good conscience tell people to watch it, but
Is there
I will
any
say
really
it's
bad
good.
stuff that happens in that?
Oh yeah, my man. A lot of people like a beloved character from the entire 3-hour movie is beheaded off camera and his head is handed to the main character.
Yes. Forgot about all of that. Yep.
It is brutal. It is really fucked, and a lot of like psychological shit.
All I
happens.
can remember is like helicopters, the song, the napalm in the morning moment, the horror, and the cow getting cut in half, which is pretty gross.
During that scene, they napalm a bunch of kids, so that's not great.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, I didn't know that either.
They're napalming like a village during like the famous Ride of the Valkyries song.
Yeah. Well, it's like, okay.
Anyway, we're off of that. Gabe, you're on an upcoming episode of City of Mirrors.
Yes, I am.
Which is very exciting. Oh, we're out of critical questions.
Oh,
You can
I
unclench
passed.
your butt.
I made it.
You can relax. We'll get you next time.
Woof.
You passed.
We'll get you
this
next time.
But do you want to soft describe your character without giving anything away?
Hell yeah.
For this coming episode.
My character is a is a world-class detective who, as luck would have it, the party encounters at just the right moment.
He's like a Poirot type.
Yeah.
And not even not old school Poirot, like a full Attenborough Poirot.
100%.
I feel like.
A character who I fully was like, this will be a British man, and then I came on and heard both Marty and Lilia doing British accents and went, this will be a different kind of a man. And
you went big Italian.
Big Italian.
Oh,
this
boy.
is a great clue.
What? Too much.
Hey,
too
man,
much.
giving it away.
Sorry,
Giving it away.
Sorry, giving it away. You have to check that out. But Gabe, you've been such an awesome guest every time. You're so consistently good.
Thanks, man.
On Hero Club. And, in the beginning, it was truly we just brought the two of you in as a chaos duo. Because
Agents of Chaos.
You're, again, the two of you are so funny and so smart in how you approach comedy. And we just were like, well, let's just throw these two very funny people who don't know anything about D&D into
full
Hero
blank
Club.
slate.
And usually how it would go, and we talked about this before, but usually how it would go is you would get really into it and try your best, but die quickly because your rolls were garbage.
I've never rolled worse. Ever.
And Ryan would be tired and coming from his day job and be trying to die as
quickly as
aggressively as
possible.
possibly, and would wind up living forever and staying until like midnight.
We are cursed in that game in exactly the opposite ways.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
In that I was like, I'm here as long as you need me, and then I die in the first hour. And Ryan is like, please get me out of here. I have so many things I have to do. And just rolls like a genius.
Sorry, Ryan, you're here for 3 hours.
And Ryan is, when I say like trying to die, it's not in like a subtle way. It's literally like Ryan lays down.
I stick dynamite in my mouth and run towards the gaping maw of the worm.
I dive into the monster's mouth, and it's like, nat 20. You kill the monster, and you're still alive.
Inexplicably escape. And it's like, fuck.
Man! Or like one of us would heal him all the way up. And
I think
just
one
like
time he
mad.
literally just like lit 2 dynamites, rode a donkey into a crowd of guys, and blew up. Wasn't that how he died
That's
in
it.
Adversary?
Pretty
He
sure that was
killed him.
adversary. Yeah.
That one he didn't survive. He
full-
because that was after he had already outlived Gabe.
He had outlived Gabe and
And
decided,
been
all right, I'm
healed
gonna make
all the
kaboom.
way back to full health by Dylan's cleric magic. And he was like, all right, fuck this. I'm out of here. And just rode a donkey on fire with dynamite into a crowd of men.
Well, I also like, that's the thing about being on Hero Cup, and it's extended onto the stream as well, where I'm always like, I am making such a smart choice in terms of where I've positioned myself. Like, where I am is perfect. I won't be touched. And then that is always the place where it's like, and that's where the fireball goes off, and it's like, fuck!
Well, that happened. I mean, we knew. So when I was planning to come in for mine, George was like, Gabe is gonna be away from where he thinks you're gonna come in. So we're gonna have you explode out of a wall right where Gabe is.
I was in the middle of a building. I was like, okay, I know where the
Well,
entrances and
there
exits
was
are.
We stationed it like slasher movie style, where a guy runs into barricades himself in a room, and then you hear him get murdered by me, and then you personally backed up as far as you could away from that room, and then I exploded out of the wall next to you and grabbed you.
Yep. Par for the course.
Par for the course. That's just how it goes.
Oh,
man,
my
see.
so funny.
I think that we're playing tomorrow night, right?
Yeah.
Yes, we are.
Well, actually, if you're listening, we're
Tonight,
playing
whenever
tonight,
that, yeah.
right? I've got such a crazy, fucked up thing planned.
Did you guys survive?
It's gonna be great.
Did the child in the game survive? No, that's tonight, right?
The child is currently locked in the tentacles of a sea beast.
That's Jackie's character, yeah.
Who
Joey.
is a child?
Joey is like
With
11
you.
years old or something, yeah.
Oh man, that's so funny when
If she dies, you guys do have Revivify.
I'm sitting on it. I'm
Yeah.
But that
I'm the
child
one
will
fucking
have to
healer.
deal with
But that
her
child
own
will have
mortality,
died. Yeah,
having
right.
experienced death.
Yeah.
Oh, that's like Caroline Lux also did that one time in our campaign that we were doing like after the whole Clearvale deal. And she came in as like a 10-year-old, like adorable Caroline Lux style tiefling
Right.
child. And we were all like, okay, like I guess we're just gonna all have to deal with the ramifications of a child being in this life or death situation. And like, not if we don't protect you, suddenly we're the biggest monsters on the planet.
Right.
Like, it's so
so
fun. I mean, it
funny.
makes for a really funny roleplay, but oh
That
man.
it do.
That it do. Well, Gabe, I think that'll just about do us for today.
It shall.
yeah.
But do you have anything like coming up that you want to plug or like draw some attention
We're
to?
ramping back
man.
into everything.
We're getting back into things. At this point, not really, other than, you know, the stream that we do, which is so fun, which is every
King of
Tuesday.
Tides, yeah.
King of Tides,
PM
which is,
PST.
hell yeah. That's pretty much all I got going on right now.
Where,
I have
where can people
there's-
find you on socials?
Yeah, I'm on Instagram at GabeSpan. I'm also, as of recently, on TikTok at GabeSpan
my
as
God.
well. I've posted like 2 videos. It's mostly just to be like, how is this going to gear towards me eventually? Like, what are they going to provide me that I should know about?
I came in and got off TikTok in the same hour on one day because I felt so old the second I started.
Oh, I feel ancient. I
It's
feel like
awful.
a fogey. I mean, it's
Yeah,
just
full-
bad.
Yeah, just
Yeah.
a geezer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm there. And then Idiot Chimney on YouTube. YouTube.com/The Idiot Chimney.
Check out. But if you like Pokemon as much as these dumbasses, and you are interested in seeing more Gabe stuff, Gabe and Ryan do a Pokemon rap as Idiot Chimney that is so batshit insane and so good.
If you also listen to the To Be a Master album and we're like, the poker rap's good,
and we're like,
but is
there
it
should be
darker
some
and
B-tracks on this.
Yeah.
It needs like some dark undertones and way more explicit language.
Yeah, then
Yeah.
then have we got the
to-
thing for you.
It's
If you
so
listened
good, though.
to To Be a Master and the NWA Fuck the Police album in the same year,
Do we
As I'm
have
sure
a
Ryan
treat
Bowers
for
did.
you?
As I'm
Yeah.
sure, like, if you wanted to explain who that man is as an essence,
That's
it
it.
is he listened
That's
to those two albums in the same year.
oh my god. Well, everybody, if you enjoyed this, check Gabe out this coming week, this Tuesday, or not tomorrow, but the next week.
Next Tuesday, yeah.
When City of Mirrors comes out with his episode, it is truly insane. We have some really, really nutso stuff happening in that. It's something we've never done before, and George really crushed it on the DMing side.
And Gabe really
it's a
crushed
feat.
it. It gave him DM level knowledge because he needed to have it, and he took it beautifully.
And I was still confused.
Guys, thank you so much for listening and for following us on Hero Club Podcast, on Instagram and Twitter, and
at Hero
reach
Club
out-
Pod on Twitter.
Hero Club Pod on Twitter. Reach out to us on a DM or on Twitter if you want to ask a question or anything. We'll answer them on the show, and keep checking there for more updates. And thank you so much.
All right.
Your continued fandom means the world to us.
See you guys tonight on twitch.tv/hero_club for the King of Tides, and have a good one.
All right. Bye.
Bye. Welcome to Hero Club, members only. Glad to have you. This is where we talk about all the things that we don't get to say on the show, 'cause that's not our thing. Welcome to Hero Club, members only.